The Florida sun was blistering, but inside the rented beach house where the 90-day Fiancé family retreat special was being filmed, the tension was frostbite cold. Loren Brovarnik stood in the open-concept kitchen, nervously stirring a protein shake she had no intention of drinking. Her phone buzzed for the 5th time in 2 minutes, but she ignored it. She knew who it was: Elizabeth. The cameras were supposed to roll in 20 minutes, but already, there were whispers among the crew. Apparently, Andrei Castrovet had dropped a bombshell during an off-camera dinner the night before, and now, there was no going back. Andrei had told someone loudly and confidently that he'd been reading Elizabeth's private text messages with Loren for months, and that wasn't even the worst part. 1. The confession the night before. The cast had gathered around a fire pit outside the house. The producers encouraged bonding, or, more accurately, encouraged drama. The wine was flowing, and so were the egos. Andrei, halfway through his second scotch, was in one of his alpha moods. "You all think I don't know what's going on, huh?" he said, glancing around the circle, eyes landing briefly on Loren. "You think I don't see the texts my wife gets?" Loren shifted uncomfortably in her seat. "What texts?" Andrei smirked. "Your texts, Loren, the ones you sent Elizabeth. About me, about the family, about everything." The fire crackled. Time froze. "What are you talking about?" Loren snapped, trying to laugh it off, but her voice cracked. Andrei leaned in, resting his elbows on his knees. "Don't play innocent. I've read them, all of them. You and Libby think you're smart, whispering through the phone like two teenagers. You think I don't know what you really think of me?" Silence. Someone coughed. Even Jovi looked up from his beer. 2. The fallout now. The next morning, Loren couldn't stop replaying the moment in her head. The texts. She had confided in Elizabeth. She'd vented about Andrei's arrogance, about how overbearing he was during group trips, about how he always made Libby cut off the rest of her family, and how Loren feared the same thing might happen to her and Alexei someday. Had they joked about him? Yes. Had they called him Moldovan Hulk in a meme? Also yes. Had Loren once referred to him as walking testosterone with a neck tattoo complex? Yeah, unfortunately, yes. And if he really had read those texts, she was in deep. 3. The confrontation the moment the cameras started rolling for the group brunch scene. It was obvious something was off. Producers tried to push the cast into light conversation, but Loren was stiff, avoiding eye contact with Libby. Andrei, meanwhile, was sitting back with a smug expression, clearly enjoying the storm he'd stirred. Finally, Sean Robinson, brought in for the retreat special as a host, decided to address the elephant in the room. "So," she said lightly, "there was a bit of a revelation last night, Andrei?" He leaned forward. "Yeah, I said what I said. I read the texts between Loren and Elizabeth." Gasps. Loren looked at Elizabeth, betrayal and confusion battling on her face. "You let him read our texts?" she asked sharply. Libby looked panicked. "No, I mean, I didn't let him. He knew my passcode. He was using my phone once and I read them." Andrei finished, "Because I had a bad feeling. And I was right. You two have been talking trash behind my back for months. Private conversations." Loren snapped. "Between friends. You invaded her privacy, my privacy. And you called me a gorilla with a green card." Andrei shot back. Everyone winced. Loren flushed bright red. "That was a joke. A dumb one. In private. You weren't supposed to see that." "Well, I did," Andrei said. "So now I know who you really are." 4. Elizabeth's dilemma later that day. Behind the scenes, Elizabeth found herself caught between two fires. Loren wasn't answering her texts. Andrei was sulking in the bedroom, furious that she wasn't taking his side more openly. "You do realize you just blew up my friendship, right?" she told him. Andrei folded his arms. "I protected you. They're not your real friends. Libby, you see how they talk about me? About you too. They're jealous. All of them. You violated my privacy." She hissed. "You went through my phone. I found the truth." He replied coldly. "You should be thanking me." 5. Loren's choice that evening. Loren finally agreed to a sit-down with Sean and Elizabeth. On camera, the air was tense. Loren's arms were crossed. Her usual bubbly demeanor was nowhere to be found. "I trusted you," Loren said flatly. "I told you things I wouldn't even tell Alexei. And now Andrei knows every word." "I didn't mean for that to happen," Elizabeth said. "I swear, Loren." "But it did happen," Loren said. "And now I feel exposed. Like everything I said is going to be used against me." Sean stepped in gently. "Loren, do you think you can forgive Elizabeth?" "I don't know," she said, because I don't think this is just about the texts. I think this is about how Andrei controls everything and you let him, including you. Elizabeth's eyes filled with tears. I didn't mean to hurt you, she whispered, but you did, Loren said, and I don't know if I can trust you again. 6. The group divides. The rest of the cast quickly took sides. Kalani whispered to Asualu that Andrei had crossed a line. He's always doing this macho possessive thing. It's creepy. Jovi told Yara he kind of respected the move. If I thought someone was talking trash about you behind my back, I'd want to know too. Yeah, Yara replied, rolling her eyes, but you also don't respect privacy. Anjola, naturally, was living for the drama. Now this is a storyline, baby. Meanwhile, Alexei, who had stayed quiet all day, finally spoke up to Andrei later that night. You messed up, man, he said. You don't go through your wife's phone, and you don't mess with my wife. Andrei just stared at him. I didn't touch her, he said. She wrote the messages. I read them. That's all. Still crossed a line, Alexei said. You want to keep making enemies. That's on you. 7. The final word. By the final day of filming, the retreat was split down the middle. Some believed Loren had every right to be angry. Others felt Andrei had simply exposed the truth, that people talked behind his back and then smiled to his face. Elizabeth was left in emotional limbo, trying to balance her friendship with Loren and her loyalty to Andrei. In the final confessionals, she said, I wish I could take it all back. I wish I had locked my phone, but at the same time, now I know how people really feel. Maybe it's better this way. Loren, however, had the last word. I'm not perfect. I've said things I regret, but I said them in private, between friends, and if we're going to live in a world where even that's not safe anymore, then what do we even have left? She looked directly into the camera. And Andrei? Good luck controlling everyone forever, because eventually, someone's going to fight back.